And now they open the gate, and here comes Ralphie 6, and she's on her way south across the 15, the 20, the 25. She's coming to the near sideline. Oh, her first run is going to be successful. Oh, touchdown, Ralphie. Touchdown, Colorado. How about that, man? Well, a year ago, we were debuting Ralphie 6. She's got a year under her belt. She's a sophomore now, by the way. Now we're debuting the 2022 Colorado football team on Friday night as they take on TCU in the season opener. Hi, everybody. Voice of the Bus, Mark Johnson. Coach Gary Barnett joins us, of course.
Wait a minute, Mark. We're going to do this year the right way.
Okay. What's he got going now? No ball cap?
I got a little hat for you.
Coming back with
maybe we ought to look more alike than different.
I'm just going to do this as this is my partner. Gary Barnett. All right, football's finally here. You feeling good about things? You've been watching camp for the last month.
Yeah, I have. I've been able to come out to most of the practices. They've had really good energy for the most part. I've seen the offense take an initial first step and become pretty effective, and defense struggle, and now I see the defense starting to come around and the offense struggling against the defense that's getting ready to play. So it's been interesting to watch. It really has.
You know, it's kind of interesting to watch. Speaking of the quarterback position, Carl Durrell, he's keeping it under wraps. Sonny Dykes down at TCU, he's keeping it under wraps. We're not sure who's starting at quarterback for either team.
Well, I think I've watched this battle really closely. And first of all, let's start off and say that Owen McCowan is a young freshman. Is going to be a really good player.
Yes, he is.
Probably not this year, but he's going to be a really good player. Secondly, I think both these two quarterbacks, Brendan Lewis and JT Shroud, have made each other better. It's been a heck of a battle the whole time. And one day you think that one's ahead, and the next day the other guy's ahead. And I think, and this is a pure guess, I know nothing, but I'd say it's hard not to start Brendan Lewis at this point in time to start this game. Being the incumbent. I mean, it's really hard not to, but who knows? You and I don't really know. We just talk about whatever somebody does, and whatever we say beforehand doesn't really mean much.
Well, there's a lot new on the offensive side. It may be an old quarterback, maybe a new one, but there's a lot new with the new offensive coordinator. We'll talk about that in a moment. But first, it was just a couple of weeks ago. We got the season underway with the official kickoff luncheon at the indoor practice facility.
So I feel very, very excited about this team. And some of it is relying on faith about what they can become. And those are things that we talk about quite often, about maximizing their potential. When you have an off season that is an outstanding off season, it really correlates to an outstanding fall. And that's at any level. This team has put in the work, and that started in early January, but this team had the resolve and the attitude about knowing that the changes that we've made were very important for us to move forward to a championship level. So they've embraced it, they've embraced these coaches, but we've really started to gain some ground on our identity.
Well, there's head coach Carl Durrell and his comments at the kickoff luncheon a couple of weeks ago, getting ready for the season opener on Friday night against TCU. As we continue with Gary Barnett. I mentioned before we heard from Carl there. Mike Sanford, talk about what you see offensively now that he's come in as the OC.
Well, I tell you, I like all these coaches for the most part. I've been impressed with all of them. Offensively, they have a different energy than the group before them, and I like those guys. But this is a different energy and a different way of doing things, and I think the players have really attached themselves to it. I like the energy of Mike Sanford every day, and Phil McGeegan, as well as the offensive line coach Kyle Devan, and everybody's been impressive to me, and they all look like they're on the same page.
You look at this team, I think that Carl Durrell's building depth, I should say. Now, up front, there's depth in defensive line. Linebacker, I know you're missing some big names from a year ago. Nate Lamb, most notable, not out there, but it's a deep group there. There's some youth in the back end of this defense, though, isn't there?
Yeah, there's youth all over the place, really, but the back end is really youthful, and they're the ones that I think I've seen the most progress in the last week. A week ago, they got toasted a couple times. This week, it's been different. So young guys do that. They grow up. And then you get into a game, it's a whole different animal. So we'll see how they react in there. But a lot of youth there. You mentioned linebackers. This is a good-looking group of linebackers.
Yes.
Physically, it's probably one of the better groups I've seen. CU have, and there's a lot of experience up front. We just got to make plays. Defense has got to make plays when they get in the games now.
Quick comment about Sonny Dykes and TCU on Friday night.
Really good football coach. Comes from a great football family. I've known his dad for a long time, and Sonny. He won 4 straight years at SMU. Hasn't been done since the 1980s. That would have been a long time. But no, to go put together 4 winning seasons at SMU after what they've been through, that says a lot about a football coach.
I didn't know, speaking of the 1800s, I didn't know he had any cowboy in him. But that's Gary Barnett. He'll be with us in the broadcast starting at 6 o'clock on Friday night. The Buffaloes and the Horned Frogs will kick it off at 8 o'clock at Folsom Field. Coming up next, we'll talk with Associate Head Coach and Wide Receiver Coach Phil McKagan as we continue here in the Stampede.